Hey everybody, I'm David, and this is the return of the Q&A Monday, so yay! First off, I want to thank everyone who recently supported my trip to Italy to the Badrio Ocarina Festival. It was so much fun, and it would not have been possible without you guys helping by purchasing the Ocarina Guide and your donations. I do want to say a special thank you to my friends who did make cash donations. My friend Connor Morin, who donated $50, William Martinez donated $100, and Mountain Ocarinas had donated $200. So thank you all very, very, very much. And as I promised before, I'm going to be doing a drawing for everyone who purchased the book before my trip to Italy and during my trip to Italy at the end of this video. So I'm going to be giving away the plastic Focalink Alto C Ocarina, which I have right down here, and also maybe another special prize. So watch this video to the very end if you want to see who the winners are. If you haven't seen any of the videos from the Ocarina Festival, I'll put a link in the description because there's some amazing stuff that went on over there, and I actually brought some ocarinas back home that I'll show you guys real quick. These are some of my favorites. Here we have a little birdie by Oliver Gosselin from France. It's a 4-hole, and it's got this beautiful glaze on it that I really love. I have this Soprano C Zelda transverse ocarina, and it's really loud, really bright sounding. I'll give you sound samples of these ocarinas later on, maybe with some reviews as well. This triple ocarina by Claudio Colombo, which I think sounds absolutely beautiful, and I love the finish on it as well. And one of my personal favorites now is this Alto C concert style ocarina by the Ocarina Workshop, or Ocarina Werkstatt, out of Austria, by Hans Rotter. More reviews and samples to come. Alright, now let's jump straight into the questions. Right off the bat, a lot of the comments and questions I've been getting are about my facial hair. Some are positive, some are not so positive. I don't know, people have mixed feelings about it. Before I had this goatee thing, I just shaved it off over the weekend to have this. And a lot of people want to know why I'm growing facial hair and if I plan to shave it. And my answer is, it's my life, and this is my face. I ain't never gonna shave. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just experimenting with my facial hair. It's summertime, so I don't have to go a lot of different places. Work is kind of slow. I'm not doing any school right now. I'm just traveling and doing ocarina stuff, so it's a good time to just experiment. It's probably going to be gone by next week, so stop freaking out, people. I've also gotten a few questions about the fingering style of ocarinas, like whether or not you can play an inline as a transverse or a Peruvian like a 6-hole or vice versa. And to answer that question, it really all depends on the maker. Inline ocarinas have been around for a very long time. In fact, you might have heard of the English Gemshorn back from a couple, I think it's like 16th, 17th century Europe. And the modern inline ocarina uses a similar style to the transverse ocarina, with the exception of the left pinky hole. When you're playing the inline ocarina, you go from right to left, just like as if you're playing a transverse ocarina, like this. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The difference is the pinky. The pinky stays down on the transverse, but on the inline it stays up. STL Ocarina recently came out with their inline ocarina with transverse fingering, so this actually stays down still. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, the reason that you do that on the transverse ocarina to begin with is for finger support. I mean, to support the ocarina. Going back to this Austrian ocarina, this is to support the ocarina when you go to the high C. It's not necessary on the inline ocarina because you're already supporting it kind of like this. Going back to this, you use your pinky fingers when you get up to the high C, so it's balanced here. When you go over here, you need that balance with the pinky here. So it's not quite the same. They both have their different functions. In reference to whether a Peruvian ocarina is like a 6-hole ocarina, it really depends on the maker. Peruvian ocarinas are more souvenirs than anything else. This is a Peruvian ocarina, and you can see that the holes, the diameters, are all the same size. A 6-hole ocarina, or an English pendant, has finger holes that are different sizes, and you need this in order to do combinations to create higher or lower pitches. Since these are all the same size, the pitches it's not in tune at all, really. all the pitches are going to be random for the most part. There's no specific skill that you're playing with this. Like I said, it's just a souvenir. So, like I said before, it all depends on the maker and what they're designing the ocarina to play like. I've also gotten this question as well a couple times about how to play your ocarina in tune when people tell you that it's sometimes a little bit too sharp or sometimes it's too flat. This has to do with breath pressure, whether or not you're blowing your ocarina too strongly or too softly. What I would highly recommend is get a tuner. Either you can download an app on your iPhone or your Android phone that has a tuner in it, or you can actually get like a guitar tuner and just blow your ocarina into it and see if it hits on pitch. The best way to do this is to know what key your ocarina is tuned to. So if you have a C ocarina, and I know this isn't C because it has a C on it, C3, you would play the lowest note. You can do this with the keyboard as well. This is C. And the highest note is C. If you don't have good oral skills or ear training, then you can definitely use the tuner as well. And just see if it matches on the C, and then play every single note until it hits the correct note on the tuner. If you're blowing too soft to make yourself flat, just increase the amount of air you're playing. If you're playing too sharp, just reduce the amount of air that you're playing or blowing. And that is the amount of air that you need in order to play the ocarina in tune. If you feel like that's not comfortable for you during performances, you can look for reviews on ocarinas that allow you to increase that much, to use that much air. That's exactly what rising breath ocarinas are for. Look for an ocarina that uses a large amount of air as you go to the top, which is my personal favorite. I can also make a few recommendations myself, so I'll put those in the description as well. Some of you also wanted to know what reverb is and how you can add it to your ocarina recordings. Well, reverb, which is short for reverberation, is a natural effect that has to do with how far or how close you are to the objects around you. Whenever we make a sound, without getting super technical, sound is vibrations, and those vibrations reflect off the objects that are surrounding you. So when it does reflect off of you, it will mix with the sound that you're creating and create this really cool sound that sounds like you're in a, well, it depends actually on where you're making the sound. Let's say that I was in a, I don't know, a closet. Now when you're talking, it's a pretty confined place, and so if you're talking in the closet, the sound is pretty close to you, and so you're not going to hear a lot of echoey type cave effects. But if you're in a cave, or let's say in a stairwell, go in there and talk or play your ocarina, and you're going to hear this amazing, I don't know how else to explain it except for a wide sound, because the distance between you, if you're on the bottom floor, and the ceiling, when the sound gets up there and comes back down, it takes it a little bit longer, and so it might not always create an echo, but it creates this really awesome mix of this big chamber-like sound. And that's the conditions that the ocarina was really made to play in. Big chamber halls is what Donati had originally, which is the creator of the ocarina, what his original concept for the ocarina was, this beautiful acoustic setting to make the ocarina reverberate. We don't always have those areas or those settings available to us. So the easiest way to add the reverb setting to your recordings is to get an effect like I think it's called Reverb DX Lite, and that's a free plugin that you can download. I'll put a link in the description. I think Audacity, which is also a free audio program, has that effect as well. I use GarageBand, and GarageBand has a lot of preset reverb settings in it, and you can also adjust it with the slider. I don't know if Windows has anything like that, but if you do a little bit of research on Google, you can probably find out more about it. Last question of the day is, what is my second favorite Zelda game? Well, I'm not sure if everyone knows exactly what my first favorite Zelda game is. You would think it's Ocarina of Time, but Ocarina of Time is actually my second favorite Zelda game. My first is Link's Awakening, which was a game that was available for the Game Boy. I think it was the first Zelda Game Boy game. And that's the first Zelda game I ever beat to the very end, and it had to do with music. The whole theme of the game was collecting musical instruments and waking up the Windfish by playing the Ballad of the Windfish, which is my favorite song to play on the double ocarina as well. And then Ocarina of Time came along, so that was probably my second favorite Zelda game. If you have never played Link's Awakening before, it's actually just became available for the 3DS for free. So if you have a 3DS, you need to go download that game. It's amazing. As promised, guys, I'm going to do the drawing for the plastic ocarina, and this bowl has about 40-50 names in here. So I made it. Whoops. Made sure it's clear so you guys can see that I'm not cheating or anything. Not that I would have any reason to cheat, but here you go. The winner of the plastic Focalink Alto C is Victor AV from, I don't know what PR stands for, I have to look it up. But congratulations, Victor. And I will be sending you the Focalink Plastic Alto C Ocarina, which is in this box, available at Songbird Ocarinas for about 20-25 bucks. So thank you so much. But I'm going to go ahead and do one more drawing for this cute strawberry ocarina pendant, also available at Songbird Ocarinas. So here we go. The winner of the Focalink strawberry pendant is Mark Brecken, I believe, of Arkansas. So congratulations to Victor and Mark. You guys are getting these new ocarinas. The Ocarina Guide is still available if you guys want. It's for $10 for the download. I'll put a link in the description. And it still goes to helping to put these shows together, like buying new ocarinas for reviews for you guys, and all the production costs I have going on. I still have a lot of equipment that I have to buy, and stuff to make these videos possible. So thank you guys for the support. Also, if you guys want to ask questions live, I have 2 broadcasts every week now. Tuesday nights at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, I have the Songbird Ocarina Ustream, and you can go to ustream.tv/channel/songbird-ocarinas, or click the link in the description. And on Thursdays, I have a really cool Q&A show on vocal.com, which is, I'll put another link in the description, but it's a really awesome setup. It's like calling into a radio show. You can, your questions will pop up on the screen for everybody to see, and you can even have a one-on-one conversation with me on Thursdays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you guys at one of those shows this week. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned on Wednesday for a review, and Friday hopefully there'll be a music video. Click one of these playlists if you want to watch another video right now, and don't forget to like and leave a comment in the description, in the comment section below. See you guys next week. I'm gonna take my ukulele. It's my life, it's now